All right, guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Talk Sip Time. This week we're doing something a little different. We're going to do an audio-only episode just because, quite frankly, we're a little tired of having to set up the cameras and get dressed up and sit in front of it. So this week you may hear some click-clacking in the background. You may hear some dogs huffing and puffing. You may hear us fussing at some dogs because we're sitting on the patio. We may walk inside in a little bit and sit on the couch and record this episode. But right now we're sipping on a pretty decent bottle of wine, and that kind of leads us into our.
I think we're sipping on two different bottles.
Well, you are for now. Me and Kay, you finished the last bottle.
You and Kay are. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Me and Kay moved on.
I did take the liberty of
Bo's on the last glass of
taking that off of your hand.
Oh, yeah.
I know what.
It's not like you've ever given us anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've never given us a decent bottle of wine.
Well, speaking of, this is a bottle that I probably would have saved, but I don't mind.
And that gets into our episode. So, these are the bottles that we save, and we're talking about those.
So basically, we're just enjoying a few wines right now. I'm gonna get into what we're drinking in a second. Okay. But basically, what we're doing tonight is kind of talking about what makes a wine, number one, worth saving to us, and what we're actually saving in our cellars, or what we end up planning to.
And when we plan to drink them.
Yeah, like for what occasions, what time. Is it something we want to like go further down the road and kind of have our own experiment, kind of what that tastes like in the future, those types of things. And there's a reason for each one, right? But the wine we're drinking right now, or at least me and Chase are on right now, Bo will get on it very soon.
If he gets on it, he's not the biggest fan of what we're drinking.
This is a wine from Cape Red Cellars. It's the Dancing Bear, which is pretty iconic for them. It's a 2012. This is a wine that's actually exclusive to members only. And unfortunately, due to some shipping constraints in our state, we are not able to become members of Cape Red, because I definitely would be. But, I think we definitely had to go through some hoops to kind of get this wine. And so I think that's kind of partially why it's special to me.
Restaurants in California to get this one.
Yeah, it's definitely very prestigious and very limited quantity that they produce every year. So it's definitely a bottle that's definitely worth saving. But we're enjoying it tonight because it's
that's actually the bottle.
We're getting to the end of season 1 of our podcast, and figure let's go out with a bang. So not the end, but getting there.
It's not the end. We do have a big bang for the last episode 10. But
it's a good
who wants to start it off? Who's got their?
Well, I think the bottles you save can be recognized for different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's different reasons we save these bottles.
Some wines are meant to be aged. Mm-hmm. So you buy them young and you age them just because the quality gets better. Some you do it for your kid's birth year, your wedding year. Milestones.
You're hitting on all the things that we're saving bottles for. So.
Well, yeah, but those are milestone points in your lives, or very prestigious accomplishments, whether it's you or your kid or anything like that. So, I'm saving bottles for celebrations on things. Not that the years correspond. Mm-hmm. But the prestige corresponds to
the event.
Yeah, or to the celebration of how I want that to be seen and who I want it to be seen with.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes a big difference in just storing bottles for quality. Sometimes you store them for memory or for special occasion.
Yeah, I'm probably the worst person to talk to on this subject because I'll open a bottle just to open it. We opened a bottle of 1986 Monroe's the other night just to open it.
Well, I did drink all of those old wines young.
Yeah.
So,
You
Yeah.
didn't drink an 86 while it was young.
I drank an 82 fresh out of the bottle.
That's not young, though.
No, but it's premature.
That's fresh out the
Yeah.
bottle.
Her expression.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about, when I'm talking about young, I'm talking about we opened this 2012 thinking that it was ready to drink, and right now I haven't taken a sip because it's smelling
It's
and
still hot.
it's giving young.
No, it's more like giving tight.
Well, okay.
I mean, it's been 3 hours. It shouldn't be tight anymore.
Well, let me bridge that subject because we're talking about Napa Cab. That's a 2012, which should have had time to age, but again, we're decanting it for longer.
I mean,
because it's still pretty tight and hot. But
that kind of just goes to really good storage.
Yeah, but it also plays into kind of what I'm talking about. Some of the bottles we're storing. So, I think we mentioned in a few episodes ago that Nickel and Nickel were members of, and really the sole purpose of me becoming a member at Nickel and Nickel was I want to get some of the 2023 vintage.
Yeah, we want
which
to
is
create
supposed
our
to
own
be
library.
right, a very good vintage in Napa Valley, but there's not a really extensive library for Nickel and Nickel, but I do want to take some of my favorite locations and AOCs to kind of, or AVAs, I'm sorry.
Appellations.
Yes. To be able to kind of age those and kind of see how those vintages show up, hopefully 5 to 10 years from now. And we actually do have, Nickel and Nickel's one of them. We're also a member at Duckhorn Vineyards, and we're saving some of those as well. The Posse Moro.
We're saving a lot of the 23s specifically because we know that 23 was a prime vintage for Napa, and those will age for a while.
Yeah, and basically, we don't have a specific occasion in mind for those bottles because we're thinking 10 years down the road.
It's just
who knows what that looks like 10 years from now. And I think it's okay, but I think our goal is with those bottles, it's not a big celebration bottle. It's how are these going to show up in 5 and 10 years. So I think that's okay to store bottles with that intention, but I don't necessarily have, hey, we're going to be having our child's birthday, we might open it for or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Not with them, of course, but those types of things. I don't know what that looks like, right, in 5 to 10 years, and I think that's okay. But I think it's also just trying to figure out,
See, guys, we're outside. If you can hear that car alarm going off, we're outside. We're just chilling this week.
Very authentic.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's one of the reasons why we saved this, right? So we did hold on to this Dancing Bear probably for about a year, probably not long enough. But
no, after smelling it, it could have gone another probably 10 years, but I haven't tasted it yet. But let's get into actually the bottles that we saved. I'll kick it off. And the first bottle that I'm going to talk about is it's 2 bottles in one that I'm saving. Me and Kay were both born in 92. We were born actually 2 days apart. So, 92 was not a great vintage anywhere in the world. It wasn't a good vintage for Napa. It wasn't a good vintage for Bordeaux. It wasn't a good vintage in Italy. So we kind of dug to find a wine that was okay for 92. We found a bottle of 92 Monroes from Left Bank Bordeaux, and we found a bottle of 92 Pichon-Baron from Left Bank Bordeaux that, hey, it may not be the best bottle of wine, but it has some sentimental value to us because it's our birth year. That bottle's as old as us. That bottle those grapes came off the vine a couple months before we were born. So those grapes sitting in the bottle are as old as us. That's the first bottle I'm saving, and that's why we're saving them, because it's sentimental to us. It may not be the best bottle of wine we've ever had. It may be the worst by the time we get to open those bottles, but it is what it is. It has a sentimental value to us. Bo, I know you've got 1 or 2 that you want to talk about.
So the 2 bottles, The two most prestigious bottles that probably I want to talk about, they're not. These are very prestigious bottles.
They're less sentimental than they are.
Well,
like,
not really, because I mean the sentimental value is a curing.
See, we told y'all that y'all would hear the dogs barking and stuff. We're sitting in the backyard. They got the zoomies right now. But I'm sorry, Bo.
No, it's about ultimately like getting the wines yourself, like saving up enough money to buy these caliber of wines. It's different to actually experience that. So the two bottles that I want to talk about, let me just double check the vintages and the true vineyards. But I can tell you the regions that they come from.
Okay.
So,
can I guess? One is a Blanc de Blanc.
Is a what?
A Blanc de Blanc.
Yes.
That you have in our cellar.
One's a champagne.
Okay. So you've got two bubblies that are.
No.
Wait.
I have one bubbles.
You have a champagne. It's not Blanc de Blanc.
Blanc de Blanc.
Blanc de Blanc champagne. Okay. Got it. From the Champagne region. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
So the wine that I have is a Blanc de Blanc Brut. It's a champagne. It's a Grand Cru from La Menzel.
Okay.
The year that I had whenever I tasted it, from my notes, says it was a 2014. I feel like the one that I have is maybe a 2018.
No, let me go check.
It could.
Oh. Yeah, I can keep talking.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check.
Okay. So this is a very, big execution of what champagne is. It's very textured. It's very bready. But it was one of those champagnes that really, in the way that, me and the people that I work with, we taste wine, we say it blows our socks off.
Yeah.
What's the vintage that
my notes have?
That you loved? The vintage that you loved and made you buy that bottle?
Well, no. I think it was either 2014 or 2018.
It's 2014. That's in the cellar right now.
Okay. I thought it was a 2014 because that's what my notes said. And whenever I tried that wine, I was very just like taken.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't matter what the price point was.
Okay.
I was going to set aside enough that I made sure that I could get at least one bottle of it.
Right.
So that whenever my next celebration, we talked about off camera, we're going to pop that bottle up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it still is young. So by the time that we do open it, it'll have like a year.
A year more.
The last time that I did try it.
Yeah.
But it'll still be a little bit too young, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's just sparkles. And okay, I know you don't like sparkles, but I'll bring you something on the side.
We'll find something to fit Case palate.
I am waiting to find, and I've tried some really good.
Hey,
sparkling wines. I just
on the horizon
not near that caliber, but
on the horizon is that 2013 Salon. So that's
okay. So
if you don't like that, I'm gonna kick you out of the room.
The next bottle that I have in my cellar is, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 2023 or 2022 Maurice Saint Denis.
Okay.
Domaine du Jacques.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about that bottle before.
Mhm.
That's at
The
Jimmy's.
Hangar.
Oh, that's at the Hangar? Okay.
Yeah. But Domaine du Jacques is one of the most premium producers in Burgundy. So the price that I seen on that wine, I watched it for months. No one ever picked up that bottle. Because Burgundies, they're usually not meant to age more than,
10, 15 years, maybe?
Yeah, I was about to say 15, probably 15 years. But the thing is, even if you give it a couple years, you're drinking du Jacques.
Yeah. I mean, if you can see through the youth of a wine, that tells you a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, I tasted a lot of wines young, and
we're kind of starting to get there.
Mhm.
and I was, inspired to look for certain qualities in a wine
Mm-hmm.
to see through youth, to see to maturity.
Yeah.
Because that's how you'll be able to buy futures.
Right.
And for the wine lovers and viewers that listen to us, futures are considered, wines that have very good potential for aging.
Which we'll get into that a little bit later in the conversation, because we have some futures that we want to.
And it's almost like a bargain. It's almost like a bargain for price and quality.
Yeah, you buy it now and it's going to be better. The price is going to be better than 10 years down the road when everybody realizes it was a great vintage. And the price gets hiked up.
Yeah,
patience.
and the wine truly showed up.
Which is part of the problem with me. I have zero patience, which is why I have to continue buying already mature Bordeaux's from.
Hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because
I mean,
I've told both of y'all before, a lot of the way that I like to go about wine is within a certain time period.
Yeah, I think, and I'm failing at, but I'm trying to follow this philosophy is 50% of the wines you buy should be long-term wines. 30% should be midterm, and 20% should be drink now. Now, if I were to do that at the rate that we drink wines, and not to say that we drink too much wine, but like we taste 2 to 5 wines a week just on the podcast. That's not including what we taste
on Friday tastings,
on Tuesday tastings. So, I mean, I'm probably skewed the other way of 50% is for now, 20% is for the medium term, and 30% is for long term. But
It'll vary from person to person.
Right.
You gotta think, different people in different stages in their life. There's no, you don't want to buy futures.
Right.
You want to buy
if you're 70 years
drink accessible.
And we're not 70 years old by any means. I hope y'all wouldn't think that. But if you're 70, you don't want to buy.
I'd be personally offended.
You don't want to buy a 2025 future and have 30 years to wait before that wine's fully mature and it's ready for you to drink. I mean, I joke with Kay all the time. I have 30 years left to live. So I don't want to buy a wine that isn't going to last those 30 years. But at the same time, we're talking about that. We got married in 2025. We're going to Bordeaux in 2026. So they're just starting to release their 2025, for pre-sale, the futures. they're starting to release their 2025 vintage for purchase. We have a thing where we want to purchase our anniversary year and drink a bottle each year on our anniversary. So our plan is when we go to Bordeaux this year to buy a bunch of 2025s and drink them from their youth until, hopefully, God willing, until they're mature. Maybe past mature, hopefully. Hopefully we live and are married that long that we get to taste those wines when they're 60 years old. That sounds terrible. I don't want to. I hope I'm passing those down to my kids through an inheritance at that time. But anyway,
a long time.
Okay, what are the bottles that you're saving? Because I've got a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about so. This is going throw back into episode 1.
That was so long ago.
I know. But the Cakebread Benchland Select is one of them that, I don't think I'm going to hold on to it for a very long time. I want to say it was a 2010.
I mean, it's probably, after tasting it, it probably has, another 7 to 10 years, maybe, you think, Bo?
I would think so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's probably one of my bottles that I'm probably going to open up sooner rather than later. But it's not going to be something that, I keep for a long time. But I definitely think I want to save that one.
We're not opening on a random Friday night.
Right. Like I want to save it for, a special occasion, maybe an anniversary, something like that, a birthday, something special as far as that goes. But, we ended up getting our hands on a 1986 Grove La Rose.
Grove La Rose.
Yeah. That I definitely want to save. I'm probably going to have to fight Chase and maybe hide it from him. I'm not sure.
There's keys to our cellar. She's going to have to.
Maybe I need to do that.
Lock and hide the keys.
I definitely think that's one of them that I want to save for a little while. And that's a special occasion bottle as well. And like we talked about, I do have some portion of our cellar that, and I say a cellar, it's really a wine fridge.
It's a big wine fridge.
But it's, it's keeping those bottles stored properly for many, for years to where we can do our own experiment, kind of see what they develop in and things like that.
We've got half a case of 23 vintage in there from Napa that we want to try at 6, 12, 15, 20 years down the road. Which that kind of gets me into my next wine. A lot of you, I don't know if any of you have ever even heard of this wine, unless y'all are close friends and I've talked to you about it, but I have a 2013 Duckhorn Vineyards Duck Blind. You can go online and look this bottle up and you're not going to find much because, again, this is referencing back to our personal connections with a couple people inside of Duckhorn. This was a personal collection of the original owners that they made this blend just for themselves and shared with very few people. And to preface that, when we were talking to our friend at Duckhorn, our tasting expert at Duckhorn, we mentioned we were from South Louisiana, that I'm a hunting enthusiast. I have a hunting dog. I duck hunt a lot. Well, he just thought that we'd be interested in knowing that there was a wine named Duck Blind because it's something that I do a lot. Well, at the time we bought half a case. We bought 6 bottles. They only had, I think, maybe 5 or 6 cases left. Unknowingly, at that time, we were very early on in our wine journey, which sounds really cliche at this point. We should come up with a better name for that.
Wine expiration.
But hey, that's enough.
R&R, that's enough.
Yeah, there's the R&R of refined and reserve experiences. I thought that I'd be able to find these wines further on down the road. I didn't take advantage of the opportunity that I had when I had it. And again, we discussed earlier about how I like to drink the wines instead of hold on to them. So we went from half a case down to one bottle. We have one bottle left, and that's the last bottle that for sure we will ever see.
Yeah.
Especially from that vintage. I've dug deep. I can't find anything from any other vintage. I can't find that vintage. It's just, that's a bottle that we'll never see again. So I'm kind of holding on to that for a very special occasion.
And honestly, it might not be with me. It might be in the duck line.
I mean, I've had one in the duck blind. Bo brought it up earlier that would be the poetic justice of where to finish that last bottle. And I do agree, but my thing is no one, at least in South Louisiana, is going to taste that bottle of wine ever. So I kind of want to share it because that's what we have come up, like that's the best part about wine is sharing with other people.
I do hunt too.
What?
I said I do hunt too.
I know. Well, okay. Well, there we go. Me and Bo will go hunting.
We'll do a guided excursion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kay's had 4 bottles already. She's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all have
So that's one of the reasons I'm saving that, the scarcity of it. So we've talked about the prestige. We've talked about the sentimental value. That one is the scarcity. And it's not the best bottle of wine I've ever had. It really isn't. But it's good enough to where I'm going to miss it when it's gone. So, do y'all have any other bottles, or do I need to go to my fourth? Because I know I'm the outlier that has 4 bottles of wine that I'm saving.
I mean,
and when I say that, I mean that lightly.
We talk about wines that we save, but I talked about the 2 most prestigious wines that I'm saving.
So you save for prestige, right? Is that the main reason that you're saving bottles? Is it for prestige, or is it for scarcity? Are you going to save a bottle because it's scarce?
Well, prestige and scarcity go hand in hand.
Do they though?
Yes.
If there's, supply and demand. If there's less,
you can buy
the price.
Any higher quality
in 20 years,
higher demand, lower production, and higher price.
But to be fair, in 20 years, a bottle of 50th anniversary Camus may be scarce because they sold so many of them and people drank so many of them. But that doesn't mean that it's prestigious.
Some people.
But Camus is prestigious.
I agree to disagree. I'm gonna be the.
No, believe me, I'm not the advocate.
But I think and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think
you're right.
Some people that really truly love Napa cabs, and
and we're some of those people. We talked about in the last episode what our regions
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, my favorite producer probably in Napa Valley, which y'all probably are sick of hearing.
We're drinking it right now.
Is cake bread. I love cake bread. I don't think everybody would agree with me, and that's okay. So that's my favorite producer in the Napa Valley. I'm going to say that, but I'm okay with not everybody agreeing with that. And look, I would be okay if people tried some of the wines that I haven't tried. Maybe their current release. It's good. It's probably not my favorite, just mass produced.
Time.
So I think it just depends how you, number one, experience is a big thing. What did you experience at the vineyard if you had the chance to visit?
There's an emotional attachment to some wines.
When did you open this wine? Was it a very special occasion? We actually opened up a bottle of cake bread, their current release, at our wedding. That was our wedding night bottle of wine that we shared.
Yeah. Look how far we've come in less than a year. the best night of our lives. We opened a bottle of just regular release cake red.
Well, we were kind of restricted from the venue too.
Well, I told you I wanted to pay a corkage fee.
We're not going there. But again, I think there's a time and place for every single, and like I said, I mean, I talk to people like my mom for most of the occasions, like the big occasions, she would open up a bottle of Camus. And if that's what she truly likes, if people can say, this is what I like and this is why I defend it, I'm okay with that. I'm glad you know what you like.
Yeah.
So I can never say a different producer if it's good or bad. It's just, what do you like?
Right.
So,
and I think we've learned that a little bit from Bo, where like if you can, just correct me if I'm wrong, bro, but if somebody can come to you and tell you they like something and you ask why and they can say, hey, X, Y, and Z, and they not even know what they're talking about, but if they can describe why they like something, you can't fault them for it. Like that's just what they like. You don't have to agree with them, but you can point them in the direction of something that's similar. Or say somebody walks in and says, hey, I tried this Redberg that I loved, but it's $1,000 for the bottle. Point me to the closest thing to it that's under 250. You can find something to fit in that range. And it's just
but similar.
It's just because like every bottle's not going to be in the same price range. Every bottle's not going to be the same prestige. It's going to be.
But you also have to know the taste.
What you
have
like.
to taste.
You can describe it.
No. You have to taste through every structure, like every price level of wine.
I don't think you have to.
Point.
Well,
no, I have to understand what she's
saying. You do. You have to.
No, but I think if you go in, like the example that you posed.
You're asking me.
If I go to ask Bo, hey, I had $1,000 bottle of wine the other night. It was phenomenal. I need something that's in my price range.
But I think,
what's the closest thing you can get to that?
But I think it would be helpful if you have had experience trying creme de la creme, or coupe de coupe.
There you go.
Want to say. But you tried that.
You do.
The top, and then you're going to a lower tier, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's not, I'm not saying that, but I want to say there is a price difference, right?
You can't open the.
I mean,
there's a quality difference too.
There is.
But you go to I'm going to compare it to this, right?
That's where the bargain wines that we hunt for.
But you go, I'm going to compare it to, you go to your chain steakhouse restaurants, right?
Yeah.
You can get a steak. The steak's going to be probably cooked to your liking. It's going to be okay, but the quality of meat of that are a very locally owned, locally sourced ingredients steakhouse.
Yes.
It's different, right? The price points are different, and you expect that going in. You're walking through the door, hey, I'm going to spend probably, I'm going to say maybe $40 per entree at maybe the chain, and then you might spend a whole lot more, and that's including appetizers, desserts if you want to, fancy.
Okay.
But I think you kind of go in knowing that. I think it's helpful if you've had, and you don't have to have the super, super fancy ones, but I think at least it would be helpful to have an understanding of, hey, I paid $1,000 worth of this, and I'm going down to something that's almost a fourth of a price.
And gave it to me.
And we say that all the time, this drink's above its price point. But to know that information only comes from tasting, right? To be
fair, you have to taste a lot of wine to get to that point.
You do.
Which not everybody's
going to have that opportunity.
But there's that everyone, if they search for enough, there's the Bo.
But I mean, yeah,
everyone can find their own Bo.
And
to say
not everyone can find
not
someone,
everyone.
And I'm not saying that to be teared up. It's just the experiences that I was able to be given by my superiors and the people who have guided me in my wine journey.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would be able to get the same experience.
Well, that's fair. But and I know this is gonna this is gonna ring some bells in here and it's gonna piss some people off. But like, if you walk into don't cut me off, let me finish.
Oh,
if you walk into Total Wine and know what you're talking about, they will at least point you in a direction. It may not be the right direction, but they'll point you in a direction.
And
If you can properly convey what you're looking for.
my thing
They may come on a little strong.
My thing is just point me to the region because this store is so big for me. It's wine overload for someone like me. Because I'm gonna get caught up in trying to look at every single wine.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in here for a reason.
Total Wine?
Yes.
And I mean, look, we actually we were traveling. We went to Destin, Florida, and we wanted to go to a local wine boutique and kind of do an episode, kind of find like the Bow of Destin.
Good luck, Bo.
And kind of ask them for recommendations. We tried to stop at this one wine shop, and
it's poured already, buddy.
Selection of Bordeaux was very minimal. But you know, we ended up going to Total Wine, and I don't think that's wrong. And honestly, I wish we would have another chance. Because, by the way, side note, the selection at the Destin Total Wine is way bigger than ours. Like incredible. But
it's a different market.
It is. But what I'm saying is, you know, different markets of these bigger box stores that have, you know, and I'm sure there's other ones. We know Total Wine because that's probably the biggest one that we have here.
Right.
But I do think sometimes there is something to gain from those stores because they do have a lot of selection. You can go and drink around you can do Epcot basically in Total Wine. Like you can drink around the world and get different wines, right? So like, I mean, there's all the selections there. I do think there is these in boutique wineries, and that's basically the kind of the wine shop we keep on referring to that Bo works at. It's very boutique, very curated taste.
Yeah, they do a lot of work, and we've been part of that. Like we go the wine shop we're talking about is a place where not only can you buy your wine from there, but if you buy the wine from there, they have a special license. Well, maybe not a special license, but they have a license to where you can open the bottle there and you can sit there and drink it. So we'll go into Total Wine on a random Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday afternoon outside of their free tastings. We'll buy a bottle of wine and sit there instead of sitting at a bar where there's music playing and there's young kids there. And I sound like an old man. I can hear myself right now. But you can sit there and just enjoy a good bottle of wine. But sometimes we'll run into them doing tastings and we'll join in on the tastings, and we get to try so many different things just because we made friends with our local sommelier who started introducing us to different wines, who saw that we had an appreciation for it and an understanding for it to where we could taste along with him.
Yeah.
To give our input on, not that we actually have an input on what goes into the store, but if
we're expanding our palates,
and he gets a somewhat of a gauge on our reactions to the wines that are there.
But it is fun.
Am I wrong? Like, not that y'all base your whole decision on if we like the wines or not. But y'all kind of get probably more not than y'all do, but y'all get some kind of a gauge. Well, I would like to think that's why y'all let us do the tastings.
Well, no, it helps me to understand the way to recommend wines.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm always for making wines possible for people to be able to own.
Right. We've talked about my sister, my brother-in-law, my grandmother. Like they cut their wine with Sprite. So if we could get them in to talk to Bo for a little bit, then it would be
different. But you know, getting back to the local wine boutique that we go to, you know, we ended up trying some South African wines, which I think I referenced in the last podcast. And I was at another table, and this person that was basically at the wine boutique, he grew some beautiful vegetables out of his garden, and I was actually asking for recommendations because my garden looks very sad.
Oh, just bring the whole board over here, buddy.
Yeah.
We're not going to be mad at you.
And we were talking about, I was asking him tips for growing, tomatoes, cucumbers.
It's a community.
Because in South Louisiana, it's very hard. But we were talking about...
Attaboy. It's okay.
We were talking about the pinotage that we were trying, actually. And he goes, hey, pull me your glass. I want to pour you something interesting. And so I shared with...
Put it on the...
I shared with him, or he shared with me, but I also told him, I said, hey, look, this is what we have open. I'm sharing with you too. So like, it's very interesting to have these relationships because it kind of helps, number one, you try more, but also you have other enthusiasts that are like you're drinking side by side, which makes it fun.
We can buy a bottle of wine and end up tasting 8,
7. Yeah.
Because we're like, again, we're not pouring full 5-ounce pours. We're just getting tastings from other people. So it's fun to find those wines, but back to the topic of the wines that we save. I know we could sit here and talk wine. If we just sat here with no camera on, we can talk wine forever. We can do this until 11 o'clock midnight. But I do have one more that I'm saving. I don't know if y'all have any more that y'all want to talk about. But the last one that I'm saving is it's a 1995 Chateau Clerc Milon, which that's not the most.
You have that in a mag, right?
Right, and I'm gonna get to that. That's not the most prestigious bottle that we own. That's not the best vintage. But that is the first bottle that I won at auction. I got it. I felt like I got it for a really good price. And it's something that we can share throughout the night with friends. So for me, I don't want to open that bottle just for me, Kay, and Bo, because by the end of that bottle, we're not going to appreciate it anymore. We're going to be a little bit probably too tipsy if we drink that whole bottle to appreciate fully that bottle. So I want it to be with friends. I want to have a dinner kind of surrounding that bottle.
Just a celebration.
Now, right. Mm-hmm. Now, when I picture that bottle, I do picture like multiple courses where there's a pairing for the first course, a pairing for the second course, a pairing for the dessert or third course. So I do kind of picture those things that, hey, this is the main event of the night, but I want to make the whole night kind of mesh and be centered around the wine and the food, and the friends. And we've posted about and we've talked about like it's not all about the wines that you're sitting around the table with. It's about the conversation that you're having, kind of like the conversation we're having now. It's about finding people that appreciate what's happening, and they don't even have to be wine geeks like us. They just have to appreciate what's going on and what's being poured for them, what's being served for them, the effort that went into procuring all this, the effort that went into cooking this. And I think that's something that we plan on kind of digging into a little bit more with this podcast. Is I know we've kind of dug into a little bit of the food and the wine pairings, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Our companies are based around procuring experiences for people, R&R experiences, and No Label Wine Company. He focuses he covers everything. Both covers everything, but
more consulting.
Right.
Yeah.
But the majority of your knowledge is the wine.
Yeah.
Right.
I went to school, I studied, got certified.
Yeah.
Right.
Looking to extend my certifications as well.
So our thing is we may not have the wine knowledge right now, but we're working to get to it. But also we've had a couple clients come to us for a couple different things. We've had the travel, we've had the wine, we've had the food. It's just if we can't do it for you, we're gonna find somebody that can.
Yeah.
And Bo's one of those people that can.
Mm-hmm.
If we can't procure the wine for you, which we can't right now because we don't have a license to actually do it for you, but we can point you in the direction to buy the wine from somebody.
Yeah.
If we can't cook the food, this is another teaser. We know the people that can.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just
no matter where you are.
Yeah. it does not matter. We have done I don't mean to brag on ourselves, but we've done a pretty good job of wherever we go, we're trying to make friends and make connections to where we can lead somebody else on the right path.
Yeah, it's truly networking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The whole way around.
And you can
most of the time we try to just our clients, like we want to be able to give them the same experiences we had, some of the places we've traveled to and some places we haven't traveled to yet that we've dreamed about. We have a kind of a loose itinerary at most of these places, and it's just about making sure they have a good time.
We're sending a client on a trip that they're doing a little bit more than we did, but we're sending a client on almost the exact same trip that we did for our honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of the things that we did on our honeymoon, we were able to use for their summer
experience.
Trip.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and some of it's self-lived, some of it's not, but
there's a lot of time and research that goes into it. And the bottles we save kind of tie into this whole thing because at one point there were 12 bottles that we saved, and those 12 bottles were saved for our honeymoon, where we specifically curated our meal plan in the middle of nowhere, Maine, to every wine had a meal to correspond with it.
Yeah.
That's where this all started, for us at least.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we felt like the wines that we saved needed to be an episode that we covered, and why. It doesn't have to be your most expensive bottle. It doesn't have to be your most prestigious bottle. It doesn't have to be the best bottle you've ever tasted. It's whatever makes a wine worth it for you to say, I want to share this with the right people and for the right occasion. That needs to be why you're saving this bottle. Why you save that bottle.
And no, I don't mean to seem the one to hold the most prestigious bottles, but
you do.
These are
not that you mean to, but you do hold the most prestigious bottles, the ones that you've tasted, the ones that you have saved.
But I've also, learned over tasting over time to see through these wines and to truly see what these wines could be
capable
what they could be capable of expressing over time. And it's like every year I wait and the wine tells a slight different story every year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have this philosophy that whenever I do start collecting futures, because right now I'm just curating, bottles here and there.
Yeah.
But I want to do 3 or 6.
Yeah.
Because I have a thing about 3s. My favorite number is 3.
Okay.
For some reason, there's some things about 3s.
That works really nice for a case.
And you really do need to get into the, if you buy... Wait. Oh, what'd she say?
I said that works really nice to buy a case of wine. That's 4 sets of 3.
Yeah. Would you fuss at me if I said the same thing to you?
Yes, your thing is not 3s, Chase.
Oh, okay. I'm just getting ganged up on over here.
Yep.
Love that for me. I mean, y'all got me all flustered now. I can't even.
Ganging up on Chase.
Jesus. But like, it helps when you can start seeing the future in wines because this is the first time I've tasted this one. But if I had tasted it beforehand and had a second bottle of it, this was one of the most prestigious bottles that we've had, and we've been saving it for a special occasion. That special occasion was today, us talking about the bottles we save. What's the verdict? I wish we would have saved it longer.
Me too.
Yeah, it's still young and kicking. I don't know if it's the more modern style of Napa or if it's the youth of the wine.
I'm going to say this, though. This might be controversial. I'm not sure. I'd rather the Benson Select.
I don't disagree with you.
And that's only a 2-year difference.
I don't disagree with you. But, hey, that's one of the things you don't know until you try it. And, yeah, we may have spent a good amount of money on this bottle, but there was no way we were going to try it unless we did. And we can't blame anybody but ourselves for opening it tonight. And blame anybody but me. They just pointed at me. Yeah, I did open it.
Y'all can blame me. It's all right.
No. But
that's the person that poured the last of the pair of them.
That's what I'm saying. You can blame me for anything.
I think with that, those are the bottles that we're saving, and that's it for this episode. I think we kind of covered it. And guys, if you have questions, if you have a bottle that you're thinking about saving, comment, DM us. It's R&R Experiences and No Label Wine Company. Find us on Instagram. Send us a DM. Probably find Bo. That'll probably be a little bit easier for you and a little bit better advice. But thank you guys for listening in. We've got 2 more great episodes coming for this season. Be sure to tune in. And with that, I'm Chase.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Bo.
And go try something you haven't tried before.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks
a lot. Thanks for sticking in and listening to us.